friends, welcome to Redix. Today we will be discussing here the English section of ST number 341. So let's begin. The first question is, you have to spot the error. If you were left alone to live in a deserted island, what would you do? So I hope that most of you have done this successfully. The error in this sentence is this preposition in. Why? Because we say on an island, not in an island. So you must have heard or read it at many places that it is written like this. In an island sounds odd, on an island is okay. So if you were left alone to live on a deserted island, what would you do? So this is the correct preposition here. Next sentence, 77. Until you do not go to the station to receive him, I can hardly feel at ease. No error. So this again is a very simple one, because you must have read this concept in your classes, that until, unless, if, when, and as soon as. These conjunctions never take will after them, and among these, until and unless. The two of them never take no or not after them. That means you cannot form a negative sentence with until and unless. Why? Because until and unless are already negative. So until you do not go to the station, you don't need to say this. Until you go to the station. So remove this do not. Until you go to the station to receive him, I can hardly feel at ease. That means I cannot feel at ease. I can hardly feel is equal to I cannot feel at ease, because hardly is again a negative word. So the error is this, do not. A part is your answer. Next question, next sentence, 78. The way he is behaving, he'll soon spill the beans, I'm afraid. So after this spill the beans, you have a full stop here. So the way he is behaving, in this part there is no problem. जिस तरीके से वो व्यवहार कर रहा है, he'll soon, वो जल्दी ही, spill the beans, ठीक है, spill the beans has no problem with this as well. Why? And what is the meaning of spill the beans? Is equal to reveal a secret. To reveal the secret is the meaning of spill the beans. So this is a phrase which you should know. I'm afraid. ऐसा मुझे डर है. So I'm afraid is again okay. You say I'm afraid after a sentence to add that मुझे डर है कि ऐसा ना हो जाए वैसा ना हो जाए. So the way he is behaving, जिस तरीके से वो व्यवहार कर रहा है, ऐसा लग रहा है कि he will soon spill the beans, कि वो जल्दी ही हमारे सारे सीक्रेट्स को रिवील कर देगा. So the answer for this sentence is D, no error. Everything is okay with this sentence. You don't need to improve anything. Now on the passage. As I have discussed earlier, the way to discuss the passage is not to read the passages at all. You must first read the questions, and if you read the questions 4 out of 5 or 3 out of 5, you can do without referring to the passage. You don't need to read the passages at all. So to sell one's soul to the devil means you can read the options, analyze them and guess the answer. Suppressing one's conscience, अपने ज़मीर को दबाना. Conscience is ज़मीर, अंतरात्मा, and suppress is दबाना, उसको नीचे दबाना, उठने ना देना. To sell one's soul to the devil, one has sold his soul to the devil. What has he done? Has he suppressed his conscience? Yes, very much possible. You cannot deny this. But then again, you need to analyze other options as well. Giving up goodness in exchange for evil. Again, it is a similar thing like that. Giving up goodness in exchange for evil. But giving up one's honesty for the sake of monetary benefits, again, it is another strong argument. To sell oneself to earn livelihood. Weak argument. So out of these three possibilities, A, B and C, you have to choose one, and I believe and hope that 80 out of 100 students will go with this C without needing any explanation. That will be their hunch that C should be the answer. Why? Giving up one's honesty for the sake of monetary benefits. पैसे वगैरह के लिए आपने अपना honesty खो दिया. ठीक है, you have lost your honesty for the sake of monetary benefits. That means you have sold for money. You have sold for money your soul. You have sold your soul to the devil for money. So it has been used as an idiomatic phrase, and the meaning, the answer would be C here. And again, even if you decide to read the passage, you won't find the sentence in the passage directly that this is the answer of this idiom or phrase. You still have to draw a conclusion from these options only. So the correct option here is C. 80. John thought that women weakened men because he thought that women were evil. Negative statement, don't go with it. He believed that a woman was a fancy devil. Again, a light argument and negative statement. He thought that a woman would spoil his life. Nobody thinks like that. He was convinced that what the story of Samson and Delilah illustrates is correct. So very much possible. So this one is the strongest argument. You just need to be confirmed that a story of Samson and Delilah has been mentioned in the passage, but you can be very much sure about it that it must have been mentioned in the passage. Why? Otherwise these words won't be here in this option. Plus again, if you allow yourself to go through the passage, you can find these words here. He believed that the woman weakened men as was described in the story of Samson and Delilah. So in the beginning you can pick up two sentences, and at the end again you can pick up two sentences, one or two sentences. That will help you get the theme and grab the objective of the passage. So by doing this you can get the answer D. 81. By not desiring another man's wife, John showed that he wanted to get married. Certainly not, because he didn't desire another man's wife. So how can you say he wanted to get married? He was a man of principle. Very much possible. He felt sorry for other men. Why? What has it got to do he not wanting other man's wife? So no, C is not your answer. He had no desire for another's wealth. Wealth is not being discussed here. We are discussing another's wife. So B is only possible answer here. Again, you don't need to refer to the passage to decide that B is the answer. From the above passage we understand that John was not highly educated, a man of simple faith, a deeply pessimistic man, a scholar of scriptures. So out of these, answering this without referring to the passage is not that easy. But now that you have done these many questions, the first one is to sell one's soul to the devil, and your answer was giving up one's honesty for the sake of monetary benefits. John thought that women weakened men because he was convinced that what the story was of Samson and Delilah illustrates is correct. And by not desiring another man's wife, John showed that he was a man of principles. So if you collect and combine all these answers, questions, facts, you will know that what has been mentioned and discussed in the passage. So on the basis of those data that you have gathered so far, you can go with the B option. But still it is not that easy to go with the B just by reading those questions and options that you have chosen. So you can skim through the passage and find in the first sentence, as I told you, that sometimes it is better if you read the first two sentences of the passage. So this one and this one, and again last two sentences. So here you read this one as well. So you have read this much part of the passage and you got the answer for one question here in this part, and now you get the answer for this question here in this part. So it was his firm belief that if this word was not good, the next would be good, and his faith sustained him. So faith has clearly been mentioned and discussed in this passage. So from the above passage we understand that John was a man of simple faith. So B is your answer. Now you have to fill the appropriate word out of 4 alternatives. The volcanic eruption was the cause of great devastation. You don't need to learn grammar to answer this one. The grammar won't help you. Your vocab won't help you to answer this question. So you may have a vast knowledge of vocab, you may have a vast vocabulary, you may have a vast knowledge of grammar, but still these two facts won't help you answering this question. The only thing that will help you answering this question is your habit of reading. So most of you who are already in the habit of reading must be aware of this phrase, the volcano always erupts. So because outbursts, erosion and movement, so out of eruption and outburst have similar meaning. Erosion is something different, and movement, you know what is it. So volcano always erupts. So your answer is B. But again, as I told you, to justify this answer, you cannot go with the grammatical laws, you cannot go with the knowledge of words. The only thing that justifies the answer is habit of reading. So all those who read, for them they don't need any explanation that why eruption is correct here and why not outburst. There was an response for the marathon. Again, reading will rescue you. Reading will rescue you. How? Because those who read know there was an overwhelming response for the marathon. So overwhelming response is the most appropriate word here. Excessive becomes negative. Excessive is more than required. Extreme is extreme. So extreme, you don't need extreme here. There was an extreme response for the marathon. No extreme response, no excessive response, no overriding. Overriding is nothing. Overriding won't fit here. But some of you may get confused between extreme and excessive, but no, don't go with them. Both these words sound negative here, but overwhelming is a positive word, and you can feel that here. So A is your answer. Your instructions, we have closed your bank account. In lieu of, with regard to, on account of, in accordance with. Again, reading will help you only, and in accordance with your instruction, we have closed your bank account. In accordance with has a sense that जैसा आप चाहते थे, आपकी इच्छानुसार. In accordance with your instructions, that means आपकी इच्छानुसार, जैसा आपने कहा उसके अनुसार, we have closed your bank account. So this one is the only correct option here. No explanation is needed further. Culmination, you have to choose the opposite here, and culmination is climax. Culmination and climax are similar, they are the synonyms, but here you have to choose opposite. So your answer cannot be completion, cannot be conclusion, because they all are somewhere very close. The only opposite word is beginning. Another way I have told you to answer such questions, suppose you have never heard this word culmination, never heard, and you see this question in your exam for the first time. What will you do then? Still you can guess. How? I have told you that in such questions sometimes you will get three options very close. So completion, conclusion and climax are very close in meaning. So certainly all three cannot be answered. The one which stands far away is generally, I am not saying always, but generally that is your answer. So here beginning stands far away from all three other options. So D is your answer. Exonerate is to acquit. Acquit in Hindi you can say bari kar dena, आरोप मुक्त करना या बरी करना. To free someone, to let them go legally, you free someone, you allow them to go and be the part of main society. So you have to choose antonym here. So admit is no, have got nothing to do. Release, as I told you, can be synonym. Reject has got nothing to do with, so convict is your answer. To convict is, you must have heard this word, the convict did this, the convict said this. So when someone is convicted, उसको गुनहगार सिद्ध किया जाता है. गुनहगार करार देना. So you have convicted someone, that means you have announced that that particular person is a culprit. You have. Now here you have to choose nearly same. See, always they ask nearly same. Now they have stopped asking synonyms because most of the times they put such options that those options are not exact synonyms of those words. So they have started putting words which are similar in context, similar in meaning. So here for vivacious, your answer is energetic. I have already discussed this word in vocab section and in classes as well. So poisonous is zehrila, tricky is tricky, slow is slow. So energetic is the only option that suits as your answer. Vivacious has the root viv, which is equal to life, and vivacious, full of life. Rancor is dislike, hatred. Again, division has got nothing to do, criticism has got nothing to do, but some of you may get confused between dislike and hatred. So what will you do then? Go with hatred. Why? Because rancor is a strong word. It's not a very light word. Rancor describes strong feelings, strong emotions of hatred, and dislike is very light. So dislike is a negative word. Hatred is a double negative word. You can differentiate these two on the basis of their intensity. So when you have disliking for something, it's okay, you can dislike something. But when you have hatred for something, you dislike it rather more. So hatred is more intense than dislike. That is why you need to go with hatred here and not with dislike. Now these are the idioms and phrases. You have to tell the meaning. As I have already told you that guessing the meanings of idioms and phrases is not that easy. Only if you have heard that idiom or phrase earlier, you can guess or recall the meaning in your exams. So better to be prepared and go through as many idioms and phrases as possible. So turn out the crabs is equal to be successful. You need to know this, otherwise it is very difficult to guess. So and in failure, no. To turn out crabs is equal to be successful. John turned out the crabs by proposing her. So you can say John became successful by proposing her, or I have just tried to make an imaginary sentence. You can choose any sentence of your choice. So you can make any other sentence. John turned out to turned out the crabs. So the best way to learn these idioms and phrases is to use them in your own sentences. When you learn a new idiom or phrase, it is a very good practice to use that idiom or phrase in your own language, in your own sentence. A gala day, easy one to guess. You must have heard this word gala on TV shows. So there you must have heard this gala word very often. So a day of happiness, an eventful day, a bad day, a day of merry making. Certainly a day of happiness. An eventful day, no. A day of merry making, no. A bad day, certainly not, because it has a negative feeling. These two words are positive, these two explanations are positive, but still you have to go with a day of happiness. That is why I keep telling you that it is the best way to prepare idioms and phrases is to just go through them one by one and learn them by heart. Plow a lonely furrow is to work single-handedly. Plow the sands, no one plows the sands, so this is not your answer. Plow the field, yes, one plows the field, but it is the literal meaning of plowing the field, so plowing the field is very literal phrase, so it is not the answer. Work in a furrow has been given only to confuse you, so it has nothing to do with this plow and furrow, so your answer is work single-handedly.
So the next question is you have to choose one of the options which best expresses the meaning of the given idiom or phrase, and actually this question is incorrect here. You don't have to choose one of the best that expresses the meaning of the given idiom or phrase, rather you have to improve the sentences here, because these are not the idioms or phrases. So the brown shirt wants washing, you have to improve is has to wash, requires a wash, is in need of a wash, or no improvement. So of course you have to go with the C here. The brown shirt requires a wash. See, has to wash has no sense. Has to be washed अगर होता, then you can consider that. Has to be washed, you could have considered that passive में, but has to wash has no sense, so it is not your answer. Is in need of a wash, so saying it is very surreal that the brown shirt is in need of a wash, so don't go with this as well. Requires a wash, the brown shirt requires a wash. You are asked to copy this letter word with word. Again, this one is very famous, so you must have learned this rule in noun. So when you learn noun, you are told about it. Noun plus preposition plus noun, what is the rule? Both the times this noun is singular, so here singular, so there is no problem with this. Word is okay, both the times this word is singular, but the problem here is with your preposition. So you need to choose the correct preposition as well. So your phrase is word for word. Door to door. Line by line. Car after car. Page after page. Page after page. So be careful about choosing this preposition as well. इस preposition का भी ध्यान देना होता है, otherwise error consider किया जाएगा. So this preposition is fixed here. Word for word is the right preposition, not word with word. So your answer is A. Others are not correct. He is resembling his father. Again it is incorrect. Why? There are few verbs which are used only in V1 degree. We do not use ing form of certain verbs. Resembling in is one of them. Again, like, see, hear, know. So these are the other words which are not used in ing form as verb. So he resembles his father is the correct sentence, not he is resembling his father. He resembles his father, that means he looks exactly like his father, or he looks like his father. So go with the C. Next question. Now you have to choose one word for these given sentences or phrases. So a place where animals are slaughtered for the market is called abattoir. So abattoir is your answer, and let's analyze other options, because all these other options are important as well. So rotunda is a circular room. Any circular room you called a rotunda. Renegade is a betrayer, a traitor, something like that. So someone who deceives you is a renegade. Kafal is used for Hindi word काफिला. काफिला के लिए इंग्लिश में आप यही कफल यूज कर देते हैं, बट वेरी रेयर वर्ड, अदरवाइज यू कैन कॉल अ काफिला a कफल. Now 97, you have to choose one of these options for the killing of a bull, and you must have read few words related to side. So wherever this suffix appears, that means someone is going to die, or so to kill or killing is the meaning of this root, this suffix side. So you can notice this side in every word. So in every word someone or something is gonna die, but who's gonna die? Let's observe one by one. Canicide is killing of a dog. So you kill a dog, you have committed canicide. And how can you remember this? Remember this can, C-A-N. So canine is the special feature of a dog. वो जो आगे से दो दांत निकले होते हैं मांस फाड़ने के लिए, ठीक है, those teeth are called canine teeth. वो दो दांत जिससे आप मांस फाड़ते हैं. तो canine teeth से आपका बनता जाता है ये क्या? Canicide. Those are the special feature of the dog family. And felicide is killing of a cat. Tauricide is your answer, the killing of a bull. And Taurus, so you must have heard this symbol or name as well. वृश्चिक ऐसा करके राशि वगैरह में आपका ये वर्ड आता है Taurus. So Taurus is used for bulls, and Tauricide is killing of bulls, and Waxicide is killing of a cow. Killing of a cow. Waxicide, canicide, killing of a dog. Taurus is tauricide, and felicide is killing of a cat. Now 98. A wooden box with a front of wire for rabbits. कुल मिला जुला के ये चूहेदानी की अंग्रेजी पूछ रहा है. ठीक है, चूहेदानी की अंग्रेजी में क्या बोलते हैं उसको? चूहेदानी मतलब वो जिसमें आप चूहा पकड़ते हैं. तो चूहेदानी की अंग्रेजी इज हच. ठीक है, a place, a box. Sometimes people domesticate rats. Sometimes सफेद चूहा को लोग अक्सर पाल लेते हैं. So domesticated rats are kept in hutch. ठीक है, तो उसके घर को आप बोलेंगे hutch. And let's see other words. इनको भी जानना पड़ता है because these words are very rare. Chances are very rare that you come across any of these words unless you prepare your one word substitution. So cobweb is मकड़ी का जाला. मकड़ी के जाले को आप बोलते हो क्या? cobweb. web is जाल. तो इसको याद रखना is very easy. And dray is your nest for squirrels. गिलहरी का जो घोंसला होता है उसको आप बोलते हो ड्रे. And sty is a house for pig. सुअर का बाड़ा, ठीक है, सुअर का जो बाड़ा होता है जहाँ पे सुअर वगैरह रहते हैं उनके हाउस को आप बोलते हो क्या? स्टाई. ड्रे स्क्विरल, कॉबवेब मकड़ी, एंड हच फॉर रैबिट्स. Now in these words you have to choose a word which has been misspelled. Wrongly spelled word को choose करना है आपको. And in this quisling is correct. It is not misspelled and the meaning is traitor, धोखेबाज, गद्दार, and spelling is correct. Quixotic is unreal, quixotic pleasure. Sometimes we use this word like that कि I got a quixotic pleasure in doing this, doing that. So quixotic is unreal, seeming not seeming to be true. Inoculate, again the spelling is okay and the meaning is to vaccinate. टीका लगाना. So the problem is here debauchery. The correct spelling is BA and the meaning is ayasi. So debauchery is ayasi and ayas के लिए you can use debaucher. You should know this word. This is an important word. And the last question is, again you have to choose the wrongly spelled word. Pejorative has no problem, the spelling is okay. And the meaning is of this word is derogatory. Apmanjanak, in Hindi you can call it. अपमानजनक टिप्पणी, अपमानजनक बात. तो derogative is equal to pejorative. And vicious has no problem with the spelling as well and the meaning is cruel, cruel. Jittery is again okay with spelling TTERY and jittery is restless or nervous. So a nervous person or restless person can be called jittery, in a state of jittery. The problem in spelling is with this word tyranny. The correct spelling is NNY, tyranny. You need two N's here and the meaning is तानाशाही. तानाशाह के लिए you can say tyrant. So tyrant is Tanasah and tyranny is Tanasahi. So overall you can see that all these 25 questions are relatively easy. The misspelled words are slightly tricky. It is not that much easy, but once you have heard all these words, guessing the correct spelling or misspelled word is very easy, or you can know them. And again here the one word substitutions are never easy. If you have read that word then it is okay. If you have never heard that word, the possibility is very rare that you can do that. And these improvements were very easy. So overall this whole ST was comparatively very easy. So I hope that I have been successfully able to describe the nuances of this ST. Thank you very much.